Hi everyone, I'm Alison from Avocado Social and welcome to another social media marketing update. In this month's update, I've got some exciting news about a brand new TikTok app. There's some updates around LinkedIn and a new premium version for company pages. And we've got a few extra trials and new features from Instagram, CapCut, and also TikTok too. So let's dive in. So here's the updates for April then. We're going to be talking about TikTok Notes, which is their brand new app. There's a bit of news around TikTok and shadow banning, so I'm going to delve into a bit more info on that. I'm getting asked a lot about this US ban and whether it's likely to happen, so let me tell you a bit more about that. I saw just this week that LinkedIn is trialing a new premium paid subscription, so let's look at the features included and the fees they're going to charge for that. I've also been trialing out the new LinkedIn Top Voice badge, so I can tell you how I got my Top Voice badge and what that means for my profile. We have noticed that they are doing even more testing on Threads, so we've got a bit of news around DMs and also trending topics. You've probably noticed the new story sticker tray, but if not, let me share a little bit of news on that, plus the feedback from the social media industry. A cool new feature on CapCut to tell you about. And finally, you may have heard about a new app called Airchat. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that one. Let's dive in. So TikTok announced this week that they're in the early stages of experimenting with a brand new app, which is a dedicated space for photo and text content. It's called TikTok Notes. It's available to download only in Australia and Canada right now, but as you'd imagine, there are plenty of people who are sharing screen recordings and kind of first look at this new app. Let's take a little look at what it looks like. So TikTok Notes is an app which you can use to link to your same TikTok account, so you don't have to kind of create a brand new profile. And we saw last year Threads doing exactly the same thing with Instagram. So this seems to be a good way for apps to be able to easily launch new apps into their families without asking people to create a brand new profile. TikTok is describing this app as a lifestyle platform that offers informative photo text content about people's lives, where you can see individuals sharing their travel tips and daily recipes. Sounds a little bit like Instagram, right? And actually the way it looks is very similar. A lot of people are commenting that it looks quite similar to Pinterest as well. The other thing is you can actually add up to 35 photos into one post. So that's something that makes it quite unique at the moment, as carousels on Instagram are limited to 10 at the moment. Also, as I said, you can use your existing TikTok account to sign up for TikTok Notes, making it super easy. You may also recognize the layout and the usability here because it looks very similar to ByteDance's other app. So the company that owns TikTok also owns this app called Lemon8. I was talking about Lemon8 a couple of times in our updates last year. Hasn't really taken off in the way that I think ByteDance wanted it to. It's popular with influencers and creators, but it is, as you can see, more of a kind of Pinterest, Instagram-y look and feel, and it is for photo content. A lot of the features are kind of adding fun graphics on top of photos to make these almost like magazine article style posts. And they are really honing in on the fashion, beauty, and travel audiences there with Lemon8. So it'd be really interesting to see if Lemon8 continues or whether that is kind of merged into TikTok Notes. So definitely interesting to see. I've seen a lot of industry commentators saying they're really excited to see what can happen with TikTok Notes. Currently no plans to be launched in the US, which is really interesting. And I suppose that's tied to what's going on with the potential TikTok ban in the US, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. Okay, so let's now talk about TikTok shadow bans. And if you're not aware, a shadow ban is when your account is unknowingly blocked or partially blocked by the app. It can happen on TikTok, it can happen on Instagram. I think those are pretty much the main places that have been known to shadow ban you. As a result, your content won't show up in the For You pages or in the Discover feed on Instagram, and you'll likely experience a drop in likes, reach, and comments. Shadow banning happens automatically by the algorithms, so it can be appealed, and it's meant to protect users from copyright issues, from spam, from inappropriate content, etc. So TikTok announced this week that it has started to shadow ban creators who repeatedly break the rules. Creators who break TikTok's community guidelines for the first time will get a warning strike looking like this one. The warning strike will basically allow you to appeal that if you want to, and it should also tell you why your content has been restricted or why you've received that violation. Typically, people are shadow banned because they've posted adult content for bullying and harassment, for copyright infringement, which is probably the most common, where you've maybe used a song or a song has been playing in the background, or perhaps you've even used a bit of film clip that hasn't been available for copyright, etc. Sometimes you might find that your account has been shadow banned completely by accident by the app as well. Alongside that, TikTok has also added a new account check tool where you can actually check the status of your account as well. This enables creators to quickly audit their account, looking at the last 30 posts and see whether they're in good standing on TikTok, which is quite useful just to see, if there are any issues, if your login has been hacked, if you have been violated in any way, or you've posted any content which is inappropriate as well. So those two tools are only available for creators at this point, but I'd imagine that, as with everything, they will kind of filter out to businesses in the future. So let's talk about this US ban then. I'm getting asked about this quite a bit. Is it happening? What's the status of it? Is it likely? So for those of you that don't know, there has been a bill which has been going through the motions in America to essentially try and get TikTok banned. They want to ban TikTok mainly because of the risk of the app sharing data with China. So sharing user data is the biggest concern about TikTok. However, there are, of course, a lot of people who don't want to see TikTok banned and who use it for their main livelihood. So 17 TikTokers this week have signed an open letter that urges President Biden to reconsider. The open letter is featuring, as I said, 17 TikTokers with 5 main talking points that underscore TikTok's contribution to the creator economy. The arguments include things like the financial support they've received from TikTok, the fact that they can openly express themselves on the app, freedom of speech, etc. They also warn the president not to antagonize Generation Z during an election year as well, which is quite interesting. So they're saying older consumers may see the app as a security risk, but younger users don't feel endangered and do not believe that the congressional distrust is warranted. So some very complicated political arguments there. What's happening next is likely a public hearing where it will be presented sort of all of the reasons why they do want to ban TikTok. So that will kind of come to public knowledge because, of course, at the moment it is a bit kind of, the rumor is that they share data with China. But if there's any hard proof of that, that will be coming to light in a public hearing next. So that will be quite interesting as a next step around this debate. The other big announcement I wanted to share with you all this week is LinkedIn company pages are launching a premium version, which seems to be what many of the social media apps are doing at the moment for an extra level of income. So what could you get as a company page that pays for premium? Well, the main options there are features like a custom call to action button, a visitor list, so a list of all of the people that have visited your profile, and you'll be able to easily invite them to follow your page, so turn them into followers. You'll be able to display client testimonials with quotes and images. You'll get some more AI assistance around copywriting posts. You'll also get to auto invite anyone who engages with your page if they haven't already followed your page. So this is basically a really easy way to expand your audience. And also you'll get a really nice kind of premium logo on your page as well. So that will be rumored $99 per month per page, which I don't know about you, but that feels quite expensive for what you actually get. So I'm personally not sure it's really worth it at the moment. But obviously that would depend on your company and the budget that you would like to put behind LinkedIn as well. If you know that LinkedIn is your biggest driver of new business leads or traffic to a website, then it could certainly be worth the investment. But it would be interesting to see some case studies, first of all, that use it. So that's all kind of rolling out at the moment as an option. So for those of you that don't want to pay for any premium features on LinkedIn, what are some of the other options out there for really raising visibility on LinkedIn at the moment? I've been experimenting with LinkedIn's top voice badge feature, which is a badge that you can get on your profile if you contribute to a number of collaborative articles. So collaborative articles are a relatively new feature on LinkedIn. They've been around for about a year or so. And I included them in my trends of this year. I've certainly seen an increased level of people engaging with them in my network. But of course, this is the social media industry, so everybody's willing to try out new features very easily. So what essentially happens here is if you contribute to a number of articles, you get a badge on your profile, which looks like this. So I've got my top social media marketing voice badge, which is only going to be on my profile for 90 days until I kind of have to prove myself back to LinkedIn once again. So LinkedIn says that if you comment on 3 or more collaborative articles, then you have the opportunity to get a top voice badge for your industry. So it really depends on what kind of articles you're posting about. You need to keep sticking to the same themes in the same industry to get that top voice. If you use too much of a scattergun approach, then you'll find that it's impossible for LinkedIn to be able to categorize your profile to a certain industry. So when I started doing this, I was looking purely for social media marketing industry articles. Nothing to do with customer service, nothing to do with operations. It had to be social media. So I did my 3 comments and nothing happened on my profile. So I thought, okay, I'll just keep going then. I suppose it depends on how saturated the industry is on LinkedIn, and obviously social media is a big one. So the competition was going to be a little higher. So within the week that it took me to get the badge, I continued to do probably about 2 or 3 comments a day, resulting in, I think I did about 12 comments in the end before I noticed the badge had actually been put on my profile. Now, there is a URL you can go to help you find the articles because they don't always get thrown up into your newsfeed. So that URL is in the slides. So I'll just show you that now. So in order to find all of the collaborative articles within LinkedIn, you can head to the URL at the bottom of the screen there, linkedin.com/pulse/topics/home. And this brings you to this collaborative articles home on the right-hand side, where you can see some recent articles that have been published, who's contributed, which are the most popular to contribute to. You can also explore different industries down the right-hand side there. And that is where I would suggest going in and finding your industry so that you can continue to post to articles within a certain topic. Just spotted by social media commentator Matt Navarra, there is now going to be a new button appearing in the post composer called Contribute Your Expertise. So this is essentially prompting you to make these contributions to the articles more regularly. I haven't seen this yet myself, but it looks like it may well be rolling out, or they're testing it at least, with some big influencers on LinkedIn at the moment, such as Matt. So if you're looking at increasing your own visibility, or maybe the visibility and dominance of a colleague on LinkedIn, maybe you're improving their overall influence within the industry, then collaborative articles and these top voice badges are certainly something to explore. I have noticed an increase in profile views since I've had my top voice badge. And also, I think it just adds more credibility to my profile when somebody lands on it. It feels more reassuring for them, hopefully, that I know what I'm talking about. Moving on to the next topic, which is DMs on Threads. So this is something that you'll soon be able to do on Threads, which is great news. You can't do it at the moment. The bad news is it won't be a dedicated Threads inbox. So as you can see in this example shared by Chris Messina, you will be able to basically DM somebody, but this will be sent on Instagram. So you'll actually be sending your DM to their Instagram inbox. So I think this is mainly around the fact that most of Meta's DMing all happens within kind of one interface now. And they've worked really hard on merging Facebook Messenger and Instagram DM into one platform within the Meta Business Suite. So at the moment, Threads is kind of just an add-on to that, as opposed to having its own dedicated inbox. So this is testing at the moment, and some users are seeing a new message call to action button on their Threads profiles. So keep an eye out for that, but remember, it won't necessarily be sent within Threads. It goes to their Instagram inbox. Also on Threads, I mentioned last month that trending topics is something that Threads is beginning to highlight and really test. So this is happening in the US at the moment. It's not currently available in the UK, but you can see what it looks like here on the right. And the difference really between Threads trending topics and X trending topics is just this context you get behind why something is trending. The fact that you know that a lot of those topics are also verified, they've been checked by the team at Threads, which makes them feel a little more credible as well as trending topics. But the new one that cropped up last week was the solar eclipse. Has created or has prompted Threads to create this live feature. So this trending topics highlight, which shows something that is emerging at the moment. A lot of people have said it's really interesting that they chose the solar eclipse for this feature and not any kind of breaking news story from around the world. And I think that does reinforce the fact that the owners of Threads don't want it to become like another political news commentator platform like X. They want to kind of stay away from hard news and difficult topics and politics. So I think that's just further reinforcement that that is the case, although you do certainly see news topics being discussed on Threads. So keep an eye out for that. As I said, this trending topics feature is in tests at the moment on Threads, and I'm sure it'll be rolling out to the world later on in the year. I've also just heard on the grapevine that Threads ads are likely to launch in the second half of this year. So I'll be keeping you guys posted on that one. One of the ones that I'm sure you've already seen is this new Sticker Stories tray, which has been rolling out on Instagram. So if you want to add a sticker to your stories, you now get quite a new look layout of all of those options. And I've got to be honest, it hasn't had great feedback from the industry so far. So you can see on the left-hand side, Shannon McKinstry, who's a social media commentator I follow on Threads, saying no because it broke my brain when I saw this layout. And Annie Mae Hodge, who I follow over on LinkedIn, is saying, what do you guys think? And you can see underneath, not a great reaction. Angel saying that, I saw this and I had to close the app. I must admit, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, am I in Facebook? Because it's using the same fonts as Facebook, those stickers. And it is just a little overwhelming kind of seeing it all there in this weird order. But I'm kind of getting a bit more used to it now. What do you think? I'd love to hear your feedback on the new Instagram Stories sticker tray. Another new feature, which I think is really interesting, which has come from CapCut. I know many of us are using CapCut to edit our videos on our phones. It is a TikTok-owned app. It's also great on the desktop. There's a fantastic desktop app now available on both Mac and PC, which I would definitely recommend downloading if you're doing some video editing. So CapCut has launched this new feature called CapCut Voice, which now allows you to record your voice in just 1 to 3 sentences, and then you can use your voice on all your videos. So basically it learns your voice, which is pretty nuts. So that is a new kind of AI powered feature of CapCut. So I'm yet to explore that one. I will feed back with you guys and let you know if it's any good next month. And then our final update for today is Airchat. So Airchat is a new app which has been creating a lot of buzz in Silicon Valley in the last few weeks. A few people talking about how to get invitations to Airchat. It is a voice and text network, similar to Twitter in its basic user interface, but with the addition of voice for every post. So instead of typing a message, you voice it, you voice note it, and the app transcribes what you say. So when the followers scroll through their feed, if they see a post from you or they like what you've said on text, they can actually hear your voice read out the transcription as well. So it'd be interesting to see if that one takes off. I've seen a few negative stories about it, just saying, it's a bit of a fad like Clubhouse or Be Real. But it could well be functionality that we see become more commonplace on other social networks. So yeah, like I said, causing quite a buzz at the moment, but I don't see it hanging around for the long term. So that's Airchat. I'm so sorry that we haven't been able to do today's webinar live, which means I don't get to answer your brilliant questions. But if you want to email me any, then you're so welcome to, and I'm about to share my email address too. Before I go, I always like to share a couple of fun campaigns that I've seen or nice examples. Let's take a look at those now. So a couple of videos to show you here. The first is from one of my favorite brands, Tony's Chocolonely. They have been running a promotion to give away Glastonbury tickets, and I just loved the fact that they shared this video, which was one of their first winners. So let's take a quick look.
Right, it's desperate times. I've just gone and bought myself the Willy Wonka version of the Glastonbury ticket. A Tony's Chocolonely. They have some golden tickets within. So the question is, have I won a Glastonbury ticket? Unbox with me. Let's have a look. I don't know what it looks like if I have. Oh my God, I've literally won 2 Glastonbury tickets. Oh my God. Right.
I love that video. I thought it was just so natural, and the fact that she ended up filming it was a bit nuts. And yeah, I love the way Tony's have shared it as well. It just shows that the competition's genuine. Showing the reaction of someone that's won it is just lovely to see. And it certainly makes you feel that, okay, I could win that. That is achievable. And I don't know about you, but it makes me just want to go out there and buy a chocolate bar. So I thought that was really powerful, and it's had great engagement on their feed. So another video that caught my attention this week was from Beavertown Brewery. And they did this post in collaboration with an influencer called Beach Bum in a Suit. And I just thought this was such a powerful video. Really amazing way of launching a campaign around mental health. So let's give it a quick watch.
Gay pub culture is the backbone of a lot of friendships and relationships. Within it, you have a few unwritten rules. If you buy a pack of crisps,
Cheers, mate. Haven't seen you around in a while. How you been?
don't keep it to yourself.
Yeah. All right. Nah, seriously, mate. Come on. How have you actually been?
Open them up and share them properly. Beavertown and Calm have teamed up together to plant these crisps around over 200 youngs and independent pubs around the UK.
I've actually got quite a lot on my plate at the moment.
to help promote conversations amongst mates. A problem shared is a problem halved, and printed on the inside of the crisp packet are a couple of questions and prompts to encourage people to chat to their friends about how they're feeling. So next time you get around in, open up.
So I thought that was such a great way of promoting a campaign that I think just needs that personal kind of voiceover to tell you a bit more about the objectives. And yeah, as you can see, that video's had nearly 100,000 views. So it was a great way of spreading awareness. Well, that's about it from me this month. Again, apologies for not being able to present this live, but hopefully you've managed to catch up with the recording, and you're welcome to drop me an email with any questions. I do have a social media ads class coming up on the 1st of May. So if you're looking to get an update on the ever-evolving world of Facebook and Instagram ads, then do join me for that. That will be online on Zoom on the 1st of May, and you can find out the details on our website. And as I said, if you would like to contact me, then you can see my contact details here, alison@avocadosocial.com. Drop us an email or contact us via the website. Hope to see you on the next update, which I'm sure will be live in May. So see you then, take care, and speak to you soon. Bye.